The air like has direct access to your head. That is something I did not expect at all. It took a few minutes and I thought to myself, I can literally do this myself. So we're going to start now. Oh my gosh. So I can't see what I'm doing. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Temi. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. Today I'm going to be cutting my hair myself for the first time while I tell you what life is like without hair. The pros and cons, let's get into it. So I'm just going to put this around my shoulders because that's what they do at the barber shop, isn't it? I borrowed my brother's clippers today and I've never cut my hair myself ever. The only hair I've cut on my body is like with a shaving stick, my legs, my armpits, but never my hair. I feel like it's the same. I've watched them cut my hair enough times for me to know that what to do, right? Shouldn't be a big deal. I'm cutting it all off, so there's no style or anything. So I think it should be fine. Let's see. Okay, so let me start by giving you a bit of history. I cut all of my hair off for the very first time about 4 weeks ago. So that's like no hair at all. So it's grown quite a bit. It doesn't look like a lot, but trust me, there was like no hair. I'll put a picture here. But before that, I had dreadlocks for 15 years. I cut off all my dreads last year in July. I cut my hair in July, but I didn't cut all of it off. I cut off like, I left about an inch or no, about 2 or 3 inches. So I had that haircut, I'll leave it here as well, for a couple of months. And then sometime at the beginning of this year, I think sometime this year, I can't remember when exactly, but I decided to cut it lower. So I did cut it lower, but I didn't cut all of it off. So for the first time 4 weeks ago, I cut all of it off and I love it. So that leads me to the first thing on my pros and cons list. The first thing is that scalp care is easier. Like honestly, it feels like I've discovered a new organ. I have access to my scalp, so I do have dry scalp. I've had that for many years, but now I'm able to, like, when I cut all of the hair off, I'm able to like wash my scalp every day. I can, treat it, put some oil, massage it, and I'm taking care of just my scalp. Because when you're washing your hair, it's like I'm washing my hair, so you're not concentrating on your scalp so much, but now you can see it, you can feel it directly, and that's amazing for me to be able to take care of my scalp directly. The con of that is that it grows too fast. I really feel like I wish there was a button you could press to slow down the growth of your hair or speed it up at certain times, because if I want it cut like all the time, like really low, after a week it's growing back and then I have to go cutting it again. So that's the reason why I'm cutting it myself at home. The last time I went to the barbers and cut everything off, it took a few minutes and I thought to myself, I can literally do this myself. Before, like when there's a style or like they're doing some pattern and they're doing shaping and all of that, you kind of think, okay, I need a barber for that. But when you're cutting all of it off, like there's nothing to it. It literally took him 5 minutes and I'm like, I can do this myself. So I borrowed my brother's clippers and I'm going to cut it myself. So the second thing on my list is it's so light and airy, and that's obviously the first thing that attracted me or made me curious about cutting my hair in the first place. I just thought to myself, it would be so nice to have, because it's been so hot in Lagos lately, it would be so nice to just have your hair, like have no hair, so the air like has direct access to your head, and it's cool, it's nice and light. And coming from someone who had dreadlocks can be really heavy, so having no hair at all it feels so nice and light. So the negative side of that, which nobody tells you about, is that you sweat, which normally everybody sweats everywhere, but when you have hair, there's like the hair catches the sweat, but then when you have no hair, it just drips down your face, it drips down your neck, it's everywhere. So that is something I did not expect at all. So you sweat, well, you don't sweat a lot. I guess, do you sweat a lot more or you just feel it because there's no hair to catch it? I don't know which it is, but that's very annoying. I'm constantly sweating. When I am sweating, when it's hot, which it is, I'm sweating, and sometimes I have to wear a bandana just to catch the sweat. But that is something that's really annoying about having no hair. So the third thing I'm going to talk about is how much freedom you have. You literally just roll out of bed, you can brush it if there's enough hair to brush, or you just like get up and go, and that's freeing, that's amazing. You don't have to think about what hairstyle you're going to do, or do I need to pack my hair. You also don't need to think about wash days being a week or two in 2 weeks, so you can just do it whenever you want. So there's a lot of freedom that comes with having no hair, and I'm really loving this phase. Yes, there's a lot of freedom, but then it's also very limiting because you can't do a lot of hairstyles. There's not much you can do, although if you're someone that wears wigs, this could probably work for you. In fact, I think that's why everybody does Didi, so that your head is flat. So if you have no hair at all, the wig can fit right on. So that is a plus if you're a wig wearer. But if you're not, then really you can't style your hair because there's no hair to style. So it's very limiting in that way, but it's also very freeing. It's not high maintenance. And the last point I'm going to touch on is how having no hair makes you bolder, it makes you more confident, and it makes you discover things about yourself that you didn't know before. In the first place, deciding to cut your hair is a bold move. It's like, because hair is such a symbol of beauty in our society, so to cut it off, it does take a bit of courage, to be honest. Even for me, that I really don't care about a lot of things, but I did have to think about it twice, like, oh, what would people think, you know, how would I look, am I sure it would look nice on me, blah blah blah. But honestly, making that decision to cut all of my hair off has been really life-changing. Because I'm bold in that way, I'm also bold in other ways. I've also discovered things that I didn't know before. A friend of mine discovered that I have a birthmark on my head. I never knew that. My mother didn't even know that, because I'm sure I've never cut all of my hair off. So it was nice to find that. I'm going to put a picture here. I have a birthmark on my scalp. So it's just nice, and I feel like it's something that everyone should experience. I know not everyone can do it or even cares to do it. Like, obviously, do you? If you don't feel like cutting all of your hair off, fine, but I think it's a really nice experience that everyone should have. I don't think I'm going to have short hair for the rest of my life. At some point, I'm going to grow my hair out, but I'm really, really enjoying this phase while I'm here. The negative side of that, though, is the fact that I get a lot of unwanted attention. The other day, I was at a supermarket and I heard someone behind me say, she be woman or something like that. I'm like, okay, Nigerians can be a bit insensitive and stupid, to be honest. And you definitely get a lot of attention from people who think, a lot of people will tell you, you look beautiful. I have gotten a lot of positive attention, so let me not just say that, oh, it's all negative. So I have gotten a lot of people say, oh, you're so beautiful. I didn't get that before, you know. I mean, I did get people saying, oh, your dreads are so nice, like, oh, your hair is so beautiful. I've had people tell me I'm beautiful before, but this is different. It just feels like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. So there's a lot of positive attention that I get, but then there's also the negative attention, where it's just ignorant attention, to be honest. So we're going to ignore those ones, but it's just annoying. I don't care, but it's just annoying to have to deal with people staring at you. But honestly, I actually forget about it. Sometimes people that haven't seen me in a while run into me and I'm just greeting them like, oh, hey, how are you? And they're like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, what? Oh yeah, I cut my hair. And then, yeah. So I actually forget about it. And yeah, the attention, you actually get used to it. But yeah, it's there, and sometimes it can be annoying. So this has really taught me that our lens of beauty is very narrow, and I think that we're very single-minded about what a beautiful woman should look like. If you don't have hair, you know, people are like, oh my gosh, like, what are you doing? Like, where's your hair? So it's weird for people, but I feel like people should just be open-minded. People have beautiful heads, and if you feel like cutting your hair off, cut it off. It doesn't even matter. Like, even if you cut it off and you discover that you don't like the way it looks, it's hair, it will grow back. So I mean, just experiment and have fun with it. It's just hair. It's just hair. I've also come to the conclusion that it's more about my feelings than anybody else's feelings, to be honest, and even more so about the way I feel than about my feelings. Let me explain that. That sounds silly, but what I mean is that I actually this came from a place of me just wanting to have no hair. Like, I literally was like, I'm tired of having hair. I just want to feel my scalp. It literally came from a place of me wanting to feel my scalp. The way it looked was secondary. I am not one to really care about the way I look, to be honest. Like I said, I forget about it a lot of the time. So it was really more about the way I felt than, you know, the way I looked for me. So yes, sometimes it looks weird and I think, oh, you know, this outfit will look nice with some hair, but it's not that serious. It's not that serious for me. As long as I feel good and the people around me support me and think I look beautiful, that's all I need. Whew, so that's it. I really thought I was going to cut my hair while I was talking, but it turns out I am not as good at multitasking as I thought I was. So I felt like I should talk first and then I will cut my hair. So I'm going to go into cutting my hair right now. This is the first time I'm cutting my hair. Let me show you what I'm using. I borrowed this from my brother. I don't know what model or whatever it is, but this is what it is. The only thing he showed me is that this controls how sharp it is. I hope you can see. So there's a set of combs here and then there's a set of combs here. So this like moves it up and down. So the closer it is to the top, I hope you can see, that's like really sharp. And I think that that's when they need to like shape up your hair. So here is where I'm going to go. I'm just going to go all the way out. So there's a set of like the different comb sizes, but obviously that's for like if you have a lot of hair. I don't have that much hair, so I think I can start from here. So this is it. I hope you can see. So we're going to start now. If this doesn't go right, I can always go to the barbers or get my brother to cut it for me properly, because I'm afraid that I won't be able to see the back and then I would not do it properly, but I'm doing it anyway. So let's go. So I really should, oh my gosh, I feel like I don't have, no, let me put something on my laps. The towel on the back doesn't really make sense because the hair is going to be falling to the front. Okay, let's go. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Okay, I think I know where I am. So I actually considered buying a set of clippers for myself, but I don't think I'm going to have short hair for that long, so it doesn't make sense. I'm grateful I have a brother, so I'm just going to borrow his. So I can't see what I'm doing, which seems silly, but we're here. Okay, I'm going to speed this up. Okay, so I'm done. That was not bad actually. I'm not sure how long it took me. I'm going to put it here when I check, but it went well. I think it looks fine. It feels exactly how I love it to feel. I can feel my scalp. It feels really nice and smooth. And yeah, it just feels like extra skin, you know, it's nice. I was afraid that I would miss a few patches, but I kept looking in the mirror. As you saw, I was like turning in different directions, just trying to see as much as possible and just like going over it several times. So the thing with the clippers is that it's at a certain level and it will just keep cutting off hair until there's no hair to come off. So the good thing is that, you know, once you stop seeing hair falling down, then that means you've gotten everything. So I just like kept trying to, you know, slowly go like line by line, so to make sure like I cover all of my hair. Yeah, and I think I got all of it off. I don't know, actually let me show you the back, so maybe you will tell me. Did I miss anything? Okay, so I'm going to go over, because I just saw, as you just saw, I missed a lot, so I'm going to do it quickly and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm done for real this time. I don't think I've missed anything. If I have, then let me actually show you. And then if I have missed it, then I'll do it again. Got it all? Did I get it all off? I don't think I will be paying a barber again unless there's a specific style that I need to do, like if I'm doing a haircut or like I need it in a certain way. But this is just literally cutting all the hair off. I don't need a professional for that, so I'm just going to be borrowing my brother's clippers and doing it myself. Groomed by Elerica is where I usually cut my hair. The customer service is fantastic. I love the place, but if I can save 4,000 naira, why not? So I'm just going to be cutting myself for now. So that's it, guys. I'm going to do my favorite thing to do after I've had a haircut, which is to have a bath, and I'm going to wash my scalp thoroughly, and I really enjoy that process, so I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and leave a comment. If you've cut your hair yourself before, let me know if you've cut your hair at a barber's. If you're thinking of cutting your hair, if you would absolutely not cut your hair, whatever it is, just leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.